Also, another issue that is becoming more and more important in Spain is the issue of migration, because in recent months, the number of boat migrants that arrived to the Canary Islands has exploded. But international media, they went to Lampedusa when there was a big crisis, but it doesn't look like they write a lot about what is happening in the Canary Islands. So could you tell us the situation in the Canary Islands? Is it under control right now, or it's still a problem?
No, it's still a problem. But with this, you mentioned Lampedusa. This is why they don't come here, because of course in Spain nothing happens. We have a socialist government, so they have carte blanche to do what they want. It's like what happens with this amnesty now, that you see that the European Union didn't know anything. They were all the time, always speaking about Hungary, about Poland, about rule of law. And when you have a flagrant violation of the rule of law, they didn't know anything about this. So this, sadly, with migration is the same problem. And not in Canary Islands, we still have these problems, because this is not over. Probably now with winter, this goes down. This is the normal thing. But no, the situation continues as bad as before. They just take migrants from Canary Islands to the rest of Spain, and this was also scandal, because they have given these migrants, these illegal migrants, they are going to hotels or places of 4 or 5 stars. And you have the people, Spanish people, who suffer the problem in Canary Islands with the volcano, and they were like in a military barracks. So it's like wow, the comparison is really bad. And also, which is also important to mention, there was one NGO who has been in charge of move these illegal migrants from Canada to the rest of Spain. And it was published that this NGO, which has 400 members, received last year 139 million euro money from the state. So you can see, of course, again, this is a business, and this is a profit business for some people, and also another big problem for Spanish population. The migrants which were moved to Spain, for example, I was asking about situation in Medina del Campo, which is a small city in Valladolid. They are still in this place, and what for the government has put more police in these places, just to there is no problems, and people because people of course were worried when you see these people, all of them between 20 and 30 years old, all male. And of course for people they say, okay, what is happening here? So they have put more police, therefore at the moment there is no more insecurity, no more problems.
When it comes to these migrants, you mentioned that they are taken from the Canary Islands and sent to mainland Spain.
Yes.
It seems that a lot of the problems with migrant crime have in recent years taken place in Barcelona. What is the security situation in Barcelona? Is it turning into Marseille or Toulouse, or not yet?
Yes, it's going that way. Some people call Barcelona Gotham City, Spanish Gotham City. So, but without Batman, of course. And the situation in Barcelona is very bad, because also they have this disaster government with Ada Colau, and which was very she supports squatters, she supports this kind of thing. So there was a big rise in criminalities, and situation is very bad. It was in June in Barcelona, and it's not, you don't feel safe in this city. And also the problem in Catalonia, this is important also to mention, is that we have the big Islamic community of Spain is there. Of course, if we take out Ceuta and Melilla, yes. And it's in Catalonia, because Catalonian separatists in government for many years, what they have done is to promote that Muslim people comes to Catalonia, Muslim migrants. Why? Because migrants from South America, they speak Spanish. So, of course, they have no need to learn Catalonian. So they wanted more new Catalans, they call them. So they wanted this. This was, as you see, a very clever idea. They bring these people there, so they learn Catalonian, and they are, I don't know, loyal subjects to the future republic. And this has been also a disaster, because this is the region with more people detained with jihadist contacts or terrorism. You remember what happened in Barcelona some years ago, and the criminality is on the rise.
Yes, there was an attack on Las Ramblas with the van that drove into a crowd of people.
Yeah.
But speaking here about the Muslim community, right now there is also a war going on in Gaza. How is the local community, the Muslim community, reacting in Spain? Are there many of these protests that we have seen in London and other cities? Are these protests also taking place in Spain?
Yeah, there was some protests, and of course they show their support for Hamas and for Palestinian. And also in Spain, the left has always been very, very pro-Palestinian. This is, and even if when there was this speak in the parliament, the speeches, during the Pedro Sanchez, the Pedro Sanchez triumph, most of these left parties, the first thing they said, we have to stop the genocide in Palestine. So, they are, so they here, the supporters of, in this case of Hamas, are part of the government. So yeah, they have a big support here. But it's true that we don't have the big demonstration as big as in other parts of Europe. But also there was some of them in Madrid. In Barcelona, they have even a fight with the police because they took all the train station. So they have to taken out of them for the police. So yeah, but it's not in the same way. But also the support for the Palestinian cause in Spain is quite big.
Also, there is another war going on at the same time in Ukraine. Spain has sent some military equipment to Ukraine, but there are those that say that more could be sent. What is the general feeling among people when it comes to the war in Ukraine? Because technically it's on the completely other side of Europe, so it could be quite far away.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Ukraine war in Spain is almost disappeared from media. So for many people, they don't really know what is happening there. And the Spanish government, it's true that they sent some weapons. They also sent things which were in very bad condition. You remember that when the coalition for the Leopard 2 tanks was made, you see Spain 72, something like that. Yes, another countries 4, 5, 10. But our Leopards were in so bad a state that many of them, they are not useful. They are just, not a real tank. So yes, there was sent some material. There's some support that bring Ukrainian soldiers to learn some things in Spanish military academies. But of course, also in the government, you have the Podemos, now Sumar, which are, pro-peace, are against the war, all these kind of speeches. But of course, they are pro-Russia. And so the support was more an expression than a real thing, yes. And now we will see. I think that we will continue in that politic. But also the other day there was some dates about which country where Spain is going, like, to put an example, to buy 5% of gas, Russian gas, to buy 45. Even in the Russian media, they speak good about Pedro Sanchez, because they say that now which is one of the biggest purchasers of Russian gas. So this is a bit. There is a lot of hypocrisy in this situation, and for Spanish people, sadly, they have very few information, and they don't know many things about this. It's like this, and especially after what happened in the killings of Hamas in Israel, this has gone like out. For many people, it's something, as you said, that is very far away.
Something that is closer, maybe as a final question, Spain has had some geopolitical rivalry with its closest neighbor in Africa, with Morocco. What is the relationship between Morocco and Spain at the moment?
It's very complicated. Okay. Yeah. Well, now situation is like, okay, Morocco is using all the time blackmail against Spain. I mean, if Spain does anything that Morocco doesn't like, they open gates and they send us thousands of migrants. Or even there was this case in Ceuta, which they told people that Cristiano Ronaldo was going to play a football match in Ceuta. So more than 10,000 people go to pass the frontier to go there. Many of them kids. They bring these kids by car to the frontier. So you can imagine what the situation was. Spain has even to put some military there because it was a total disaster. And this is an example of how Morocco plays with Spain. And also, many people in Spain says that Morocco have some kind of blackmail or something with, especially with Pedro Sanchez, because it has been proved that their phones were hijacked by them. So many people think that this is, and for that Spain now has as the relation is, okay, what do you want? I will give it to you. And this is very, very problematic because we have this issue with the Ceuta and Melilla cities, which are Spanish cities. They never been Morocco cities, but they won them, and also they won the Canary Islands. So this is a very big problem, a security problem for Spain. And actually, and we have another problem in the geopolitical sphere is that, of course, Morocco is building very good relations with, for example, the United States, and Spain is playing in other way and this also can be a problem because at the end, if you have a problem with Morocco, you will need allies. And Palestine is not an ally. I mean, Pedro Sanchez said, we are not going to stop until we get the recognition of the Palestinian state. He said this yesterday in Parliament or before yesterday. So this is not a geopolitical, intelligent politics. Yeah, it's like we are moving always in in the bad side. So yeah, with Morocco, the situation can be worse in the future. And of course, for Morocco, now is very good because we have the most weak government in history, the last history. So for them, it's very good situation to put more pressure, to ask for more things, and to get more things from Spain. So yeah,
it is very interesting what you said about Morocco having ambitions for the Canary Islands. This is something that you practically never hear about in European press. Could you tell me more about what is going on when it comes to the Canary Islands? Why are they pushing for the Canary Islands to become Moroccan?
Yeah, because the Canary Islands is a very rich place, so it's very interesting to have this place. Okay, and the excuse is quite funny. Okay, when you see Morocco is here, Canary Islands is here. Which is near, Spain or Morocco? Morocco. So it's Morocco. It's absurd. But the point is, of course, that if you have a lot of migration there, you can ask in time for, okay, we have many people living there. Their rights are, this kind of histories, how they work. We have seen many times with Russia. And probably we can have this problem. The thing is, Canary Island is a very rich place. So of course, for Morocco is interesting. So it's near to them. So they say, why not? And now we have, this government which says, no, this is Spain forever. And the next day they change. Okay, we are going to discuss this in the benefit of Spain. So yes, you can have this problem in future.
There are also other international relations that could be worth looking into here. Naturally, there is the case of Gibraltar with England or Great Britain. And there is also the general situation with increased centralization, federalization of the European Union, mainly led by a Franco-German initiative. What is the relationship between Spain and England on one side, and also Spain and this Franco-German axis and its EU plans?
Okay, Gibraltar. Of course, with Gibraltar, we have a big problem, because when we have the chance to say, okay, we can now ask this for the British government, we didn't do it. When we have, after the Brexit, we were in a good position to negotiate and to ask some things and to change some things which are very bad, because relation with Gibraltar is bad. Also with this English which I speak a kind of Andalusian. Because sometimes it's quite funny when you see these people speaking against Spain in Spanish, and we with the Spanish government didn't do anything, and this is also our big problem. Also, for example, with the NATO, you know that Ceuta and Melilla are not covered by NATO, and this is because our government don't ask for this also. So, of course, if you don't ask for this, nobody, I don't know, from the United States, from any place is going to say, okay, this is very important to say we are going to defend this. You have to defend your country, and you have to ask your allies to defend your country. But there is no interest. Vox asks in the parliament for the Spanish government to do this, and all the parties vote against, even the Partido Popular votes against this, which is crazy, has no sense. And okay, it's also, this explains also why we are in this situation. And with this idea of federalization, I think this is a good idea for our government, because at the end, they are in Spain. We have the central state has less and less competence. And of course, this is an idea that for separatists is good, because they can say, okay, we are a nation. Okay, they are being recognized as nations now with this, also with this pact, not nationalities, nations. And for them also will be good. So sadly, yes, they will support. And even some people in the Partido Popular shares this kind of ideas, because they think that Europe is the hope, and we are seeing that okay, after what happens now in Spain, we are seeing how Europe is working. There is going to be a debate about this in the European Parliament, but you have seen that in hours you have von der Leyen and many people of the Commission. Oh, Pedro, welcome again. You are our friend. So they don't mind if there is rule of law in Spain or not. Sadly, this is the situation. So yes, this idea, they will like it. And also, in this pact they make, socialists and junts, one of the points was that Catalonia has to be their own representatives internationally, which is also quite funny, yes, because I imagine, I don't know, the minister of any country of Asia who is going to meet with the Spanish minister and another person, and he says, no, this is for Catalonia, and then he will say, okay, two different countries. It's absurd. It's totally absurd what they are doing with this thing. So Euro-federalization also goes in this way. So for them, yes, is very good.
Yes, and I saw that also they are pushing more and more for the Catalan language in the European Union to be used, to be recognized. Yeah. But this is probably something we can continue discussing, hopefully in the future, when we know a little bit more about exactly what the Sanchez government is planning to do in Spain. Probably the next months or even years will be quite hectic when it comes to these issues. Thank you very much for joining us, Álvaro.